What is going on YouTube? Kronos here and welcome back to another PSO2 video. So today we're going to be going over the new, well, I kind of hesitate to say we're going to be going over the new Pyramid quest, but to an extent we're going to be going over the new Geometric Labyrinth quests that will be coming out in, well, looks like short of 9 days at the time of recording this video. Before jumping into that, guys, if you're new to the channel, my name is Chrono. I cover primarily PSO2 content. Would much appreciate a subscriber as we work our way towards that 10K mark, hopefully by the end of the year. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this. So the reason why I'm making this video is mostly because of just kind of the responses I've seen to the recent video on whether or not you should have a Kukurosiat weapon. A lot of what I've seen are players kind of got the mindset of, well, technically this isn't going to be stronger than my Cinquim weapon maxed out. This is basically kind of useless to someone who already has a maxed out Cinquim. And I don't feel like they've really paid attention to what some of the actual modifiers have been, or how they've shown so far at the very least, in the Geometric Labyrinth. Because these modifiers get pretty ridiculous. Like, when I mean pretty ridiculous, I mean absolutely insane modifiers. Honestly, to say something like this, this weapon itself will only be useful for casual players it's disingenuous. It's actually just almost a lie outright. We can take certain precautions or certain things to keep ourselves from getting absolutely destroyed, but the Geometric Labyrinth challenge quests can get very, very intense. Keep in mind, they've already explained that with the Geometric Labyrinth, you'll have a set of fail conditions, and if you fail to any of these side quests, you'll be ejected. You fail the mission itself. Now, this is something you can consistently do. You can keep farming, of course, for like your better setup. But if you're someone who's going to be going for a high score, or if you're at a group that's going to be going for a decent score, we aren't sure if these scores have any merit on the items that you get, but it's likely going to be something similar to what it was back in base PSO2, not the Geometric Labyrinth, of course, because it didn't exist. But, you know, similar, the rewards will probably be based on the amount of points that you actually get. Players will be going for decently high amounts of points to be getting certain rewards. So you're probably going to want a good chunk of points, and part of getting those high points is going to be stacking on challenge settings. And some of the challenge settings that I've seen mixed with some of the fail conditions that I've seen are absolutely insane. Fail conditions like don't heal more than 4 times, don't take damage more than 10 times. Your HP slowly drains over the course of a mission itself. Things like, I can't even, like, just the couple that I've mentioned so far, the fail conditions don't seem so bad, right? However, you can stack on challenge settings that multiply your score, or they give you a score multiplier. Basically, you get more score for getting through your stages. And these are going to be pinnacle to being able to actually get a high score. For some people, get the highest score as possible. This is something that's been very, very prevalent in Phantasy Star. I mean, we've seen it with Endless. We've also seen like people trying to rush Divide quests and things like that and do really, really well there. So I'm actually very excited to see stuff like this pop up. But keep in mind, this is something that some people are really going to be pushing forward towards. So to say something like only, you know, the casual players are going to be wanting these weapons, top-end players aren't, I think people are extremely wrong about that. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Now, I could be wrong. I could be the Papega in this situation. But with challenge settings like max enemy HP 300% and enemy attack 250%, mixed with situations like don't die a certain number of times, you slowly lose HP over a certain course of times, there's minus, the minus 20 HP every 10 seconds, minus 50 HP, minus 20 P, or minus 50 PP, decrease max carry limit of sign items, increase rest of sign consumption on use, especially with cases like, failed side missions being the number of rest of signs that you use. Maybe they double them, and if you use 1, you actually use 2, meaning that you're already 2 out of 4 for the entire mission. We also don't know if that is your entire team or if that's just you. So these are all things to consider. So when I say something like, I feel like these Kukurosiat weapons are going to be very staple in this, I'm not kidding. Looking at everything that we could possibly end up coming up against, it's going to be pretty crazy. Now, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. If there's no reason for the casual player to run on these higher settings, these challenge settings, then maybe they won't really care. However, part of what people are saying is that only the casual player is going to care about these Kukurosiat weapons. My whole point is that these Kukurosiat weapons are actually going to be more useful for the high-end player because some of these challenge settings are absolutely going to slap you into oblivion. Yes, certain ones are just going to one-shot you, but other ones you might be able to want to take like a single hit and still survive, because dying may be a really big issue. Like for some, dying may be a big issue, of course, but for some classes, they don't have one-shot protection. To my knowledge, the only classes that do are Fighter and Hunter gets it once every, I want to say 3 minutes, while Fighter gets it once every activation of Overload, I believe is what the skill is called. Or yeah, I think it's Overload. But realistically speaking, these weapons are going to be very useful. Mind you, this could be a situation where it's like a weapon swap, right? Where you keep this weapon in the back pocket for those stages that are super, like going to hyper destroy you versus stage where you need to push out extra damage. You have your Cinquim weapon. But part of what I also mentioned in the previous video was that maybe not everyone has their Cinquim weapon at rank 4. The difference in damage between this and a Cinquim weapon could be between a 2 to 3%, not crazy amounts of damage. And I mean, even a max Cinquim, honestly, it could be a difference of about 4 to 5. And sacrificing that 4 to 5% DPS for a massive, I mean massive amount of survivability is more than likely going to be worth it. So again, these are just my opinion of the situation itself based on what we're seeing. When we get the Geometric Labyrinth, it'll be good to see what we actually have to deal with and what's going to be going on there. I'm super excited to do this type of content. This is the type of content I've wanted in PSO2 for a very long time. I've been saying that they've been misusing these spaces for quite some time, and I'm glad that they're starting to use them. And you know, I basically called this from the very beginning, so I'm very, very happy about this. Anyway, if you guys, I'd love to see what you guys think. I'd love to hear what you guys think about, you know, these new weapons, this new quest type, and what we're gonna be dealing with. If you guys have any questions, feel free to toss them in the comments below. Like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to keep up with more. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Peace out.